This week there's a new 4 pics and 1 word for you. As usual, you get the 4 pictures, you guess the word, and then I tell you if you got it right. That's it. Let's go. Hello, hopefully some of you buried some things in your garden last week. This week we're going to go dig them up and see what's happened to them. I'm back a week later to check on the things that I buried. Now the first thing I noticed is this white stuff here, which I'll take a photo of for you to see. Now this white stuff, this is where I buried the bread, and I have a feeling it could be the bread. Something's going on with it, that's for sure. So I'll dig it up. Oh, things have been breaking it down. So my bread, look at that. They've like made all these little crumbs. That was crumbs. I don't know what it is. I did see some ants here the other day, so I guess it's possibly ants. I'll cover it up again and see what happens next week. So that's been breaking down a bit. Now, coriander. The first thing I noticed with this one is that there's actually leaves growing up out of the ground. I wonder if it's trying to grow back. Oh, check that out. Now, plants have this amazing ability to search for light. And if they're not dead, which obviously this one wasn't, then they actually turn and grow towards the light. You can see it on this one too. Look at that. The leaves that were remaining on the stalk have curled up to try and get to the light so it could keep growing. So I put it in here thinking it was going to decompose, but it thinks it's going to make a whole new plant. All right, I'm going to put it back under there again. We'll see if it happens again next week. Okay, now next, plastic. Here's the plastic. So far that looks pretty much the same as last week, I reckon. I'll put that back under here, cover it up with dirt again. And the paper. Interesting. Alright, so this was the butcher's paper from some ham. It's wet, a bit soft, but I can't see that it's broken down at all yet. So we'll put that back in here, and then we'll come back and check it out next week again. Now, I want you to do this with your own things, please. And then every week, when you do science, go out, dig them up again, and see if they've changed. Alright, so at the moment we're all trying to stay home and we're trying not to go to the shops, and there's still lots of things that I need, but I don't want to go to the shops and get it. So I'm doing a lot of ordering online and things are delivered to my house. But while this has been happening, I've just been really aware of all the packaging that we get around the products that we buy. And look at this one. This one's incredible. So see this parcel here? Oops, I ripped it open already. I just put it back in there to show you. I've been waiting for this to come from Japan for quite a long time now. There's some boxes for my slides of sand. Some of you have seen them before. So this is what the parcel looked like when it arrived, except it had my address on the front, and I've ripped that off because I couldn't put that in the recycle bin. Alright, so first of all, there's this plastic outer bit. Then inside that was this plastic kind of padding stuff, alright? So I took that off, whoop, and inside that was more this stuff, plastic. And then inside that were black plastic Ziploc bags on something that's plastic. So I think I have like 5 layers of different plastics in this parcel. It just makes me want to cry. I'm like, these things don't even break. They're plastic and they're hard. They could have just gone in like a little paper satchel and they would have been fine. But you can see the huge problem we have with waste. Welcome to Is This Funny to a Teenager, where I interrupt Abby's homework and make her laugh at a joke. if Abby thinks it's funny, you'll see one of these two faces here. Excuse me, Abby. You can hold up the other two. This means you get to see the joke. If she holds up one of these two faces, you'll never ever know how funny my joke was. Okay, are you ready, Abby?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Now, I just found these on the internet, by the way. Okay. I haven't even started. Okay, let's try again. You're laughing. That's the worst joke ever. I picked it on purpose. It was really bad. What are you going to pick?
Oh, I laughed, but it's really bad. I think we've got to show it. But
We've got to show it?
oh, it's.
I picked it on purpose to see if she'd laugh because it was really bad.
It's
Okay,
really bad.
you get to see it. The really bad joke. Hello everyone, today we're going to have a bit of a look at what things can go in the recycle bin if you live in Whitehorse, which probably most of you do. We have a big bin that has a yellow lid on the top and it goes out every second week on the curb. I also just need to apologise for my really noisy budgies. They get excited when I talk and then they start talking and it... Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a quiz. I'm going to hold something up. You guess whether you think it can go in the recycle or not in the recycle. And then I'll tell you. So, and we're not talking about red cycle this week. Next week I'm going to show you those things. All right. Foil from cooking. Yes or no? Yes, it can go in the recycle. Scrunch it in a ball. We'll put the recycle things on this side. Oops. All right. Plastic packaging from food, or this is shell grit. Yes or no? No, it can't. So I'm going to put it over this side. Oops, I didn't really make sides. There you go. I can go over this side. Soft plastics can't. They go in red cycle. We'll look at that next week. All right, boxes, packages like this. Yes or no? Yes, they can. Put that one over here. All right, paper. Just normal paper. Yes or no? Yes, can be recycled. You should know that, probably. Okay, this one here. This is a paper towel. Can it be recycled? Yes or no? Actually, no for this one. This tricked me. Paper towel can't be recycled. I think it may be because it's so soft and maybe it disintegrates too easily. Tissues are the same. You can't put tissues in the recycle bin, so that's a no. That can go on this side. While we're on the paper thing, receipts. Can it go in the recycle? Yes or no? They actually can't go in the recycle. I don't think it's because of the paper. I think it's because of the chemicals that they use to print on receipts. So this one can't go in the recycle bin. All right, this salt container, when I finish this, can it go in the recycle bin? Yes, it can. Plastic containers, hard plastic containers from the kitchen, bathrooms and laundries can. All right, a glass. Yes or no? The answer is no. This is really confusing because some glass can go in the recycle. But not drinking glasses or glass jugs or vases. None of that glass is allowed to go in there. I don't really know why. There must be a difference, but I don't actually know why. This type of glass, can it go in the recycle? Yes. So if you have a glass jar, it says just to leave the lid on, which is crazy because it's metal, but anyway, it says jars, leave the lid on for Whitehorse, okay? And the labels, you don't have to soak the labels off either. All right, plastic cutlery. No, you can't put this in the recycle. I don't know why, because it's hard plastic. Maybe it's to do with its size. Not sure. So no, don't put that in it. Okay, deodorant cans. These are like an aerosol can. Yes, this one completely fooled me. I thought you could not put this in the recycle. It's got a plastic lid, a metal body, but it can go in the recycling. Amazing. Don't forget that one, because we can save heaps with that. All right, glossy magazine. So this paper's sort of shiny, but it's paper. What do you reckon? Yes, glossy paper can go in your recycle bin. Magazines, that kind of stuff. All right, plastic bottles from the laundry, washing detergent, that kind of stuff. Yes, plastic bottles with the lids on can go into your recycling, but not with the liquid still inside. I'm just giving you examples. Okay, this is a pasta sachet. I don't know if you've ever touched one of these. You can feel it's actually got foil inside. And then it's got like this plasticky stuff on the outside. It's like a waxy kind of paper. Do you think this can be recycled? No. Generally when there's a material that has two types of material in one, like it feels a bit plasticky, it also has a bit of foil on it. It probably also has paper. So it's possible that you have a layer of foil, then paper, then plastic to make this. That cannot be recycled because they can't separate out those different materials. These packages are a kicker because it's a shame that you can't. All right, it's a bit like coffee cups, the same thing. Okay, tins like this. It's got paper on the outside, metal tin. Yes, Whitehorse says just to leave the labels on. You don't have to take them off. You can sort that out. Lucky Last. Coffee thing. Now, this one fooled me. You can recycle it, but on the outside, it's got like this thin plastic sheeting. I'm going to rip it off now, even though then I won't know what it is. Before you dispose of this, it says on the bottom in very small writing, please remove the label before recycling the jar. Because what you've got here is a soft plastic on a hard plastic. I can't actually rip this. Hang on. And so no one would probably read that. The labelling is not very good for this sort of stuff. So you've got to pull off the soft plastic and put that in the soft plastics, and then the rest of this container, if you peel it off properly, can go in your recycle bin. So hopefully that helps you a little bit to know what can and can't go in the recycle bin. If you're not sure, you can look on the Whitehorse website. There's still a few things I'm not sure about, and I can't seem to get answers about it, but you know, even if we just know some of the things, that will make a great start to being good recyclers. Ologies, the segment where we look at words that end in ology and what they mean. Now, I have a few more examples from kids this week at school that sent them in. All right, these are a couple. Waterology, Jamesology, that's the study of himself, Mr. Beanology, Drawology, and Earthology. Nice one, guys. I think of all of those, probably Waterology sounds most like one that you could use. So, I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's a funny movie, but they're a Greek family, and the dad is Greek and very proudly so. And he spends most of the movie telling everybody that any word in English, any word, you can trace it back to its Greek origins. And it's funny because this week, as I've been looking at ologies, I've realized how true that is with a lot of science words, that heaps of them have their meaning in old Greek words. So the word that I have for you today, it came from Abby, and she found it and said, hey mum, have you heard of this word? And I was like, what? That's a crazy word. So are you ready? Dendrochronology. Dendrochronology. Now what's cool about this word is that it can actually be broken into 3 sections. So dendro comes from the Greek word for tree. Chrono comes from the Greek word for time. And ology, hopefully you know by now, is the study of. So this is talking about seeing how old trees are, and in particular it's referring to when they're cut through the middle, and you can count the rings in the tree. So it's about dating trees over time. Isn't that fantastic? I like that one. Now, you might have also heard dendro in words like dendrites, which are sometimes used to describe branch-like kind of things. So I guess that's what they're talking about, making a similarity to comparing them to a tree. All right, the second word I have also on the plant sort of theme is phytology, and that is just the study of plants. So phyto means plant, and ology, the study of. Phytology. There's also the word botany, which we use now. I just realized I didn't look up the difference between botany and phytology. I'll have to do that later. Maybe you could have a look too. But phyto, you hear around the place a fair bit. You might have heard of the word phytoplankton, about little creatures that live in the ocean. And phytoplankton are the ones that are more plant-like, but they're, very small, microscopic creatures. And my third word for today, also botany related, is palynology. And this is the study of pollen. So palyno, I think it is, means strewn or little dust particles, and ology, the study of. And so palynology is the study of pollen. And this can be used in things like dating things. So if they dig up, say, old fossils and rocks and geological kind of interesting things, they often find pollen trapped inside, and they can use that to kind of date things. And also for the grade 5/6s who are doing a bit of forensic science, we'll look at this in a couple of weeks, but pollen has been used to help solve crimes because it links people with particular plants and sometimes with actual locations where there's the only place that you would ever find that pollen. All right, there are our ologies for today. Now, next week, we're going to be doing what we call an audit of our bins, which is where we go through all our rubbish in our house for a week, and we try and work out what things we maybe could have recycled or composted instead of throwing them into the general waste, where they just get dug into the ground and then never rot away, okay? So this week, you don't have a project to do, but you've got something you've got to collect. Your whole family's waste that you would normally throw into the general waste bin, which I think has a red lid in Whitehorse, the red lidded bin, all of that you have to collect this week. You're not allowed to send it off in the dump truck until we've had a look at it.
Talk with Mum or Dad about a good time to start collecting your general waste. Next week, we'll sort through it together. You may want to begin collecting the night after the trucks come and then do your sorting before the next week.